The starfield stretched endlessly, dotted with pale blue suns and distant, shimmering planets. In the far reaches of the galaxy, the alien empires had grown proud and confident. Among them, a group of young princes traveled aboard the flagship Zephyros, a massive vessel of polished silver alloy and glowing energy conduits. They were the heirs of one of the most powerful empires in the sector, accustomed to victory and sure of their superiority. "This sector is quiet," Prince Vaylor said, his voice calm but tinged with arrogance. "No humans should dare enter here. They are a primitive species. Scouts at best. Nothing more." Beside him, his younger brother, Prince Kalen, looked out the viewport. "It is strange," he said. Sensors picked up a small human unit. Only 3 ships, tiny, barely detectable. "They do not belong here." Vaylor waved a hand dismissively. "We will handle them. Send the fleet. I want to see them destroyed before they even reach the border of our empire." The alien fleet, sleek and powerful, accelerated toward the human position. Their ships were equipped with advanced weapons, shields, and tracking technology that had never failed. Yet the humans were not what they expected. Meanwhile, human scout unit drifted silently near the edge of a rocky asteroid belt. Captain Alina Rourke leaned over the holographic console, her brow furrowed in concentration. The 3 small ships she commanded were far outnumbered. But humans had a gift for turning disadvantage into advantage. "Fleet approaching, Captain," her lieutenant said. "Sensors indicate a larger force, but their movements are predictable." Alina nodded. "Good. We'll use the asteroids for cover. Keep formation tight, and remember our goal is observation first, evasion second. We are scouts, not a fighting force." Her team moved with practiced precision, weaving between massive asteroids. The alien ship's sensors struggled to track them through the irregular terrain. Every maneuver the humans made was deliberate, almost playful, as if they were dancing among the rocks. On the Zephyros, Vaylor's eyes widened as he watched the holographic display. "They move differently," he murmured. "Our weapons cannot lock on." Kalen frowned. "Impossible. They are too small. Our targeting systems never fail." Vaylor clenched his jaw. "It seems we underestimated them. Prepare a direct intercept." The human scout unit was aware of the attention but did not panic. Captain Rourke's voice was calm and steady. "We expected resistance. Keep your focus. Use their assumptions against them." A bright flash lit the viewport as the alien fleet fired a test volley. Explosions rippled across the asteroid field, but the human ships vanished from sight, leaving behind no debris. The alien princes stared in disbelief. "How are they doing this?" Kalen whispered. "They are clever," Vaylor admitted, though reluctantly. "Humans are unpredictable, but they are only scouts. It cannot matter." Yet it did matter. Every failed strike gnawed at the pride of the alien fleet. Every maneuver by the humans revealed a level of skill and intuition that was unusual for a species they considered inferior. Alina guided her team through the maze-like belt, using the rocks not just for cover, but as tools. She instructed her navigator to trigger small energy flares from one ship, creating false targets. The alien fleet, relying on sensors, fired repeatedly at the decoys. Each shot wasted energy and left gaps for the human ships to slip through undetected. "This is working perfectly," Lena said, smiling faintly. "They are predictable, overconfident. They will continue to make mistakes." Back on the Zephyros, the alien princes began to grow uneasy. Their pride bristled as they saw one ship after another fail to hit the tiny human units. Even their best strategists could not anticipate the humans' moves. "This is unacceptable," Vaylor growled. "They cannot be this skilled." Kalen shook his head. "Perhaps we underestimated them. Perhaps humans are more than we thought." Vaylor turned sharply to him. "Do not suggest such nonsense. They are scouts, and scouts are not capable of this level of strategy. There must be a trick." But the truth was becoming clear. The humans were not relying on tricks. They were relying on ingenuity, observation, and quick thinking, the very qualities that alien leaders often dismissed as minor, The human ships slipped past another wave of attacks, and a small communication burst reached them from the alien fleet. A voice, formal and commanding, echoed in their ship. "This is Prince Vaylor of the Zephyros. Surrender immediately, humans." "Resistance is futile," Lena smiled at the message. "Show them who they are dealing with," reply. She keyed the comms. Her voice was calm, clear, and confident. "This is Captain Alina Rourke of the Human Scout Unit. We are conducting reconnaissance. We mean no harm, but we will not surrender. You may attempt to follow us, but you will not catch us." There was a pause. On the alien flagship, the princes exchanged glances. Vaylor's face hardened. "They speak with confidence. Too much confidence. It is almost arrogant." Kalan frowned. "Or courageous," he said quietly. "Silence," Vaylor snapped. "They are still mere humans." Yet the alien fleet hesitated. Every action they took seemed to be anticipated. Every prediction failed. The human scouts moved with precision, as if the asteroids themselves were extensions of their ships. As the humans approached a particularly dense section of the asteroid belt, Lena made a sudden decision. "Prepare for a sudden maneuver. On my mark, we split. 2 ships flank left, 1 goes straight. They will follow the wrong targets." Her team executed the maneuver flawlessly. The alien fleet, trusting its calculations, followed the wrong ships. One by one, their formation broke apart. Chaos spread among the alien ranks. Vaylor's face darkened. "Impossible," he muttered. "They should not be able to. We only sent scouts. Why are they doing this?" Kalen looked at him, his eyes wide. "Perhaps humans are not what we believed. Perhaps they are. More capable." Valer refused to hear it. "No, we only fought a human scout unit. Only 3 ships. They cannot be this skilled. It is an anomaly." Meanwhile, the humans regrouped on the far side of the belt. Captain Rourke's calm authority guided them through the chaos, and for the first time they allowed themselves a small sigh of relief. "Excellent work, everyone," she said. "This was just the beginning. But we've shown them that humans are not to be underestimated." The alien princes, watching the retreating scouts, could only stare in disbelief. Their pride was shaken, their assumptions challenged, and deep down, a small seed of respect and perhaps fear began to take root. Vaylor's voice was low, almost a whisper. "We only fought a scout unit, and yet they have humiliated us." Kalen placed a hand on his brother's arm. Maybe we need to rethink our approach. Humans are different, but different can be dangerous." Vaylor turned his gaze back to the stars, the human ships now tiny dots in the distance. "Yes," he said finally, with a mix of frustration and grudging respect. "Different, but we will see. This is not over." The human scout unit disappeared into the vastness of space, leaving behind confusion and awe. They had achieved what many thought impossible, not through overwhelming power, but through intelligence, courage, and strategy. And far across the galaxy, alien princes were learning a lesson they would never forget. Never underestimate a human, even a scout. The stars stretched on, endless and silent. But now the human's presence was known. A story was beginning, a story of ingenuity, courage, and the quiet strength that could change the galaxy. And the alien princes, for the first time, understood that humans were a force that could not be ignored. The human scout unit had moved quickly through the asteroid belt, leaving the alien fleet behind. Captain Alina Rourke checked the systems on her small ship and smiled faintly at her team. The adrenaline from the encounter still lingered in the air, but there was no time to relax. "Good work back there," Alina said, her voice calm but firm. "We've proven that humans can handle themselves against overwhelming odds, but we're not done yet. Keep your focus." Lieutenant Rajiv, the navigator, glanced at the sensors. "Captain, they're not giving up. The alien fleet is regrouping. It looks like they're sending something new, something stronger." Elena's eyes narrowed. "How strong?" "Indicators suggest an elite strike team," Rajiv replied. "Faster, smarter, better equipped. They're targeting us specifically, Lena nodded. Of course, that makes sense. They've already learned that we're not easy to deal with, so now they bring out their best. The human ships adjusted course, moving toward a dense cluster of asteroids that would provide cover and give them an advantage in maneuverability. Small, agile ships like theirs could navigate the terrain far more easily than the large alien vessels. Meanwhile, aboard the flagship Zephyros, Prince Vaylor paced the command deck. The displays showed the humans slipping through his forces with ease. His jaw tightened. "They are only scouts," he muttered, voice full of frustration. "Only 3 ships, and yet they have humiliated us at every turn." Kalen, standing nearby, shook his head. "It is impressive, brother. I did not expect such skill, even from humans. Perhaps they are more capable than we imagined." Vaylor spun to face him, eyes blazing. "Do not speak like that. They are still only humans, scouts. And scouts are meant to observe, not to challenge princes." Kalen sighed. "Perhaps you are underestimating them. Their methods are unusual, but effective. I have never seen strategy like this from another species." Vaylor scowled, but said nothing. He turned back to the display, watching as the human ships disappeared and reappeared in the asteroid field with near-perfect timing. The elite alien strike team arrived swiftly. 3 sleek ships, shimmering with energy shields and bristling with sensors. They moved with precision, confident that their training and advanced technology would make short work of the humans. "Target them," Vaylor ordered. "Destroy them quickly. Show them the might of our empire." But the humans had already anticipated the attack. Captain Alina observed the new ships carefully, noting their formation and speed. "Listen up," she said to her team. "They are faster and stronger, but predictable. We'll use the asteroids to our advantage again. Lieutenant Rajiv, map out a course through the densest section. Lieutenant Harper, prepare the decoys." The humans executed their plan flawlessly. As the alien strike team entered the asteroid field, they fired on false targets projected by the human ships. Each time, the missiles or energy pulses hit nothing, leaving gaps in their formation. Elena's voice was calm over the comms. "Now, split. Harper and I flank left. Rajiv goes right. Keep your speed steady and follow the path I marked. They will fall into the trap," the strike team pursued, unaware of the human strategy. One by one, the alien ships found themselves navigating through narrow corridors between massive asteroids. The humans moved effortlessly, exploiting every angle and shadow. While the alien pilots struggled to adjust, on the Zephyros Vaylor's eyes widened as he watched the display. "Impossible," he whispered. "We trained for every situation. How can 3 ships do this?" Kalen, observing the same display, remained silent. He could not deny what he saw. Humans, with only 3 ships, had turned the elite strike team's power against them. The humans executed a series of clever maneuvers. Using the narrow asteroid passages, they created artificial collisions, forcing the alien ships to slow down or risk damage. Every movement by the humans seemed to anticipate the aliens' response. "This is incredible," Lieutenant Harper said, her hand steady on the controls. "They are following every move we expect them to, and yet they can't catch us." Captain Alina smiled. "That's the point. We are human. We learn, adapt, and think differently. That is our advantage." The alien strike team attempted a coordinated attack, aiming to corner the humans. But each time, the humans split or shifted formation, avoiding capture with ease. Energy pulses that should have struck the scouts instead hit empty space. Vaylor's fists clenched. They are only scouts. How can they manage this? Kalen stepped closer, his voice low. "Brother, perhaps humans are underestimated. Perhaps they are. Exceptional." Vaylor shook his head violently. "No, scouts cannot be exceptional. There must be some trick, some hidden advantage. Find it." But there was no trick. The humans relied on intelligence, observation, and teamwork. Every decision was made with careful thought, every movement executed with precision as the engagement continued. One of the alien ships became trapped temporarily between 2 massive asteroids. The humans avoided it entirely, knowing it posed no immediate threat. But the display on Zephyros showed the alien princes that even their best ships were vulnerable. "They are just scouts," Veller said through gritted teeth. "And yet they have forced one of our finest ships into a near disaster. This cannot be real." Kalen did not reply. He stared at the display, realizing that humans were indeed unpredictable, clever, and resourceful. Perhaps this was a species unlike any other the Empire had encountered. "Captain," Lena knew the humans had gained the upper hand in the first phase of the encounter, but she remained cautious. "This is only the beginning," she said quietly. "We've surprised them once, but they will adapt. We must keep thinking ahead." The alien strike team finally regrouped at the edge of the asteroid belt, shaken but still intact. Their ships were undamaged, but their confidence had suffered. They realized that these humans were far from ordinary. Valor's expression darkened. "Report," he demanded. A tactical officer spoke hesitantly. They are only scouts, Your Highness. Yet they have outmaneuvered our elite strike team. Our sensors indicate perfect coordination and quick adaptation." "It is unlike anything we have seen." Valor's voice dropped to a whisper. "We only fought a scout unit. And yet, they have bested our elite team. This cannot continue." Kalen looked at his brother. Perhaps it should. Perhaps humans are a species to be respected, or at least watched closely. They are not what we expected. Valar did not respond immediately. His pride, wounded by the defeat of his elite strike team, battled against the reality of human skill. Deep down, he knew that Kalen spoke the truth. Meanwhile, the human scouts moved to a safer distance, regrouping near a small, uninhabited moon. Captain Alina convened a brief meeting with her team. "Excellent work," she said. "We've shown them humans are clever and capable. But remember, we are scouts. Our goal is observation and survival, not conquest. They may underestimate us, but they will also learn. We must always stay one step ahead." Lieutenant Rajiv nodded. Their reactions. It was almost like they were shocked. "Did you see the expressions on the alien princes' faces?" Alina chuckled softly. "Yes, pride is a dangerous thing, especially when it blinds you to reality. Today we reminded them that humans are adaptable, intelligent, and persistent." The alien princes watched from their flagship, silent and troubled. For the first time, they felt a genuine sense of uncertainty. How could 3 small human ships challenge the might of their elite strike team? How could scouts, of all things, expose weaknesses in their strategy? Valor's voice, cold and measured, finally broke the silence. "We will not underestimate them again. These humans, they are dangerous." Kalan placed a hand on his brother's shoulder. "Perhaps they are more than dangerous. Perhaps they are the future, and we must understand them before it is too late." Valor looked out at the stars, the retreating human scouts, tiny but significant in the distance. He did not yet admit it. But a seed of respect, perhaps fear, was growing in his mind, far across the galaxy. The human scouts had achieved a victory of a different kind. They had not destroyed their opponents. They had not claimed territory. But they had done something just as important. They had shown that human ingenuity, courage, and strategy could stand against even the most advanced forces of the alien empire, and in doing so, they had set the stage for a story that would spread throughout the stars, a story of humans who could not be underestimated, a species that could surprise even the most confident alien princes, and a future shaped by intelligence, courage, and determination. The stars were silent witnesses to the encounter, stretching endlessly in every direction. But now, in the hearts and minds of alien princes, a quiet awareness had begun to grow. Humans were not to be ignored. They were clever, resourceful, unyielding, and the galaxy would soon learn that underestimating humans was a mistake no one could afford to make. The human scout unit had retreated to a quiet sector near a small, uninhabited moon. Captain Alina Rourke gathered her team in the briefing room, the faint hum of the ship's engines filling the background. Though their mission had started as reconnaissance, the recent encounters had proven far more dangerous, far more revealing than anyone had anticipated. "We've seen what they can do," Lena began, her voice calm and commanding. The alien princes have underestimated us so far, but that will not last. If we want to succeed in our mission, we must learn more about them. Lieutenant Rajiv, the navigator, leaned forward, pointing at the holographic display. Sensors picked up a small patrol ship detaching from their fleet. It's a single ship, lightly guarded. It's far from the main force, but it's carrying data communications, tactical files. If we capture it, we can gain intelligence about their strategies and weaknesses. Alina nodded thoughtfully. A perfect opportunity. But we must be careful. One wrong move, and we could alert the rest of their fleet. How strong is it? Moderate, Rajiv replied. Shields are high, but only lightly armed. It relies on speed and evasion rather than heavy firepower. Lena's eyes glinted with determination. Then we strike with precision, not force. Prepare for capture. The human ships quietly followed the alien patrol, using the shadows of nearby asteroids to remain undetected. Every movement was deliberate, every maneuver calculated. The alien ship, confident in its speed and technology, had no idea it was being stalked. Positioning complete, Lieutenant Harper reported. We're within range, Captain. They haven't noticed us yet. Elena smiled faintly. Good, deploy the tractor beam. We don't destroy. We capture. We need information, not casualties. The beam wrapped around the alien patrol ship, slowing it just enough to prevent escape. The alien crew struggled against it, but their panic was apparent even through the sensors. Humans, with their careful precision and teamwork, had trapped a ship far superior in technology without causing any damage. Bring them aboard for interrogation, Alina ordered. Her team moved efficiently, docking the alien ship alongside their own. The captured crew looked wary, but unharmed. Their pride bruised by the ease of their capture. Once inside the human ship, the aliens were introduced to a human officer assigned to oversee the process. Alina remained calm, treating the prisoners with respect. Your tactics are impressive, she said plainly. But you have underestimated humans. We observe, we learn, and we adapt. You should understand that, before you send more forces against us. The aliens, for the first time, realized that these humans were not mere scouts. They were thinkers, planners, and leaders. Captain Elena's calm confidence unnerved them more than any weapon could. Meanwhile, the holographic displays showed the alien fleet regrouping near the edge of the sector. Their elite strike team had returned, shaken but determined. The alien princes were watching closely, frustrated by their inability to anticipate human actions. Vaylor's voice was sharp, almost trembling with irritation. They only captured a single patrol ship, and yet it exposes our weaknesses. How can scouts, of all things, challenge our fleet so effectively? Kalen, standing beside him, remained quiet, eyes fixed on the display. He had begun to see humans differently, less as prey, more as a species that could rival even the most advanced aliens in intelligence and strategy. They are clever, Kalen admitted softly. We cannot predict them easily. They adapt quickly and exploit opportunities. They are dangerous in ways we have not considered. Vaylor's jaw tightened. Dangerous. Yes. But they are only scouts. Only 3 ships. They cannot possibly pose a real threat. Kalen looked at him seriously. Perhaps we are mistaken, brother. Perhaps scouts can reveal more than armies. And these humans, they are extraordinary. Back on the human ship, Captain Alina examined the alien data. Charts, tactical maps, and communication logs filled the screen. Her eyes scanned each detail carefully, identifying weak points in fleet coordination, slow response times, and predictable attack patterns. This is perfect, she said. They think only in force and power. They don't anticipate creativity or adaptation. We can use this. Lieutenant Rajiv nodded. We could simulate patrols and traps to mislead them further. If we manipulate their movements, we can control where they go and how they respond. Alina smiled. Exactly. We'll turn their strength into their weakness. This is the moment humans show what strategy really means. Let's make it count. The next day, the humans set their plan into motion. Using the captured patrol ship, they transmitted false signals and misleading data, creating illusions of human activity across multiple sectors. The alien fleet, relying on these signals, moved hastily, attempting to intercept phantom units that did not exist. On the Zephyros, Valera and Kalen watched with mounting frustration. "They are everywhere," Valera growled. "We cannot predict where the real scouts are. This is chaos." Kalen frowned. "They are using deception, strategy, and anticipation. It is impressive. We may have underestimated them." The human ships, meanwhile, observed the alien fleet from hidden positions. Captain Alina analyzed every move, noting how the alien ships reacted to the false data. Each mistake the aliens made confirmed her predictions. "Now," she said, "we move. Lieutenant Harper, flank left. Lieutenant Rajiv, stay right. I will draw their attention from the center. Remember, no shots fired unless necessary. Precision and observation are our weapons." The alien fleet, expecting a conventional attack, moved as predicted. The humans navigated the asteroid fields with near-perfect timing, avoiding engagement while manipulating alien movements. For the first time, the alien princes realized humans could fight without fighting. They could win through intelligence alone. Valer's voice was low, almost a whisper. "How can scouts? 3 ships. Manage this?" Kalen placed a hand on his brother's shoulder. "Because they think differently. They adapt. They learn. And we have underestimated them." The humans' plan reached its climax when the alien fleet became divided, chasing illusions and false signals. Captain Alina observed from her command seat, calm and composed. "We have turned the tide," she said softly. "They may be strong, but we are smarter. We are human." The alien princes, watching from the flagship, felt a mixture of disbelief and awe. Their elite ships were powerful, their technology unmatched. Yet a small human scout unit had revealed weaknesses and forced mistakes at every turn. Valer's face was pale. "We only fought a scout unit, and yet they have outmaneuvered our elite fleet. This is unacceptable." Kellen's eyes were steady. "It is remarkable. Humans are capable of much more than we thought. Perhaps it is time we respect them not as prey, but as equals in strategy and intelligence." The humans had achieved a victory without firing a single destructive weapon. Through observation, adaptation, and clever use of captured data, they had turned the aliens' strength into weakness. The galaxy had not yet seen the full potential of humanity, but the seeds of respect and caution had been planted in the minds of alien leaders. Captain Alina looked at her team. "This is what it means to be human," she said softly. "Intelligence, courage, and teamwork can accomplish what brute strength cannot. Remember this. We have only begun to show the galaxy what humans are capable of." As the alien fleet regrouped in confusion, the human scouts retreated to the safety of the uninhabited moon. They had achieved far more than survival. They had changed the perception of an entire empire, and far across the stars. Alien princes began to understand a truth they could not ignore. Humans were not to be underestimated, even in small numbers. Intelligence, creativity, courage could challenge the mightiest forces of the galaxy. The stars stretched endlessly around the quiet moon. Yet the galaxy had already begun to change. The humans' reputation would grow quietly, but steadily, and their presence would be felt far beyond the borders of their small scout unit. For the first time, the alien princes saw humans not as a minor species to be dismissed, but as clever, adaptable, and potentially unstoppable. And this realization, though slow and uneasy, would shape the encounters to come. The human scout unit had spent the last cycle analyzing the data captured from the alien patrol ship. Captain Alina Rourke stood on the command deck, staring at the holographic displays filled with alien fleet formations, movement patterns, and communication networks. Her team moved quietly, each member absorbed in their task. "We've learned more than we could have imagined," Alina said softly. "Their fleet is powerful, yes, but predictable in ways they do not realize. If we use this knowledge wisely, we can avoid unnecessary conflict while gaining a significant advantage." Lieutenant Rajiv, leaning over a holographic map, pointed to a section of space near a dense asteroid field. Captain's sensors indicate the alien princes are moving a fleet closer. It seems they want a direct confrontation. They must have realized we captured their patrol ship. Lena nodded. Then it's time we meet them face to face. But we will do it on our terms. Prepare the communication array. I want them to see we are capable, not reckless. Far across the void, aboard the flagship Zephyros, Prince Vaylor's expression was a mix of frustration and curiosity. We only fought a scout unit, he muttered. And yet they've outsmarted our elite teams, captured one of our ships, and disrupted our operations. How can this be? Kalen, standing beside him, remained calm. It is simple, brother. They are different. Humans think in ways we do not anticipate. Their intelligence, their creativity, and their adaptability make them formidable. Valer glared at him. Formidable. They are only 3 ships. Scouts. This should not happen. Kalen shook his head. Perhaps that is why it does happen. Their size is small, but their impact is significant. Perhaps we should see them as worthy adversaries, not just nuisances. Valer said nothing, but deep inside, he could not deny the truth. Humans were unlike any species the Empire had encountered. Their strategies, their calm under pressure, and their clever manipulation of the battlefield had shaken his confidence in ways he had never experienced. Meanwhile, the human scout unit prepared a secure communication channel. Alina activated it, sending a clear signal to the approaching fleet. On the Zephyros, Valar and Kalen detected the incoming message and exchanged wary glances. This is Captain Alina Rourke of the human scout unit, Lena said when the link connected. Her tone was calm and confident. We are not here to attack, but we will defend ourselves. You may believe you are strong, but your scouts have limitations. We hope to establish understanding before further conflict occurs. Baylor's expression darkened. They speak with confidence. Too much confidence. It is almost arrogant. Kellen's eyes were steady. Or courageous. Perhaps there is a difference we do not understand. The communication continued, and Alina shared portions of the captured data. She highlighted the weaknesses she had discovered in the alien fleet's movements, their predictable patterns, and the areas where humans could exploit their slow response times. This is not a threat, Alina emphasized. It is knowledge. Knowledge that can save lives on both sides if we act wisely. Humans do not seek unnecessary destruction. We act with intelligence and caution. Valer listened, struggling to reconcile his pride with the reality before him. For the first time, he began to understand that these humans were more than mere scouts. They were thinkers, leaders, and strategists. Kalen spoke softly, almost in awe. They are teaching us without attacking. Their power is in their mind, not in their weapons. That is why we underestimate them. That is why we are surprised. Valer's jaw tightened. We only fought a scout unit. 3 ships, and yet they have made fools of our elite teams. This is unacceptable. Lena watched the alien reactions carefully. She knew their pride would prevent immediate agreement, but the seed of respect had already been planted. We are willing to negotiate, she said. We are willing to show that humans are not reckless or aggressive, but we expect acknowledgement of what we have achieved. For the first time, the alien princes considered the humans as equals in strategy. They had underestimated 3 small scout ships, and the results had shaken their assumptions. They could not ignore the reality any longer. The humans continued, presenting simulations of fleet movements and tactical scenarios. They explained how humans could adapt quickly to unforeseen events, exploit environmental advantages, and coordinate with minimal resources. Every demonstration emphasized the skill and intelligence of the human team. Valer's voice, when he finally spoke, was measured but reluctant. We only faced a scout unit, and yet they have demonstrated strategy beyond what we expected. This is troubling. Kalen nodded. Not troubling, brother. Enlightening. We have underestimated humans for too long. They are clever, adaptable, and remarkably patient. They are not to be dismissed. Alina smiled faintly. We are not enemies, unless you make us so. Humans value knowledge, understanding, and cooperation, but we will not be underestimated. That is clear. The alien princes watched as the human scouts demonstrated the potential of their species. Even without a large fleet or advanced weaponry, they had achieved results that challenged the assumptions of a powerful empire. Vaylor's pride bristled at the acknowledgement. But he could not deny the truth. Kalen, standing beside him, was calm and reflective. Perhaps this is the first lesson, he said softly. Humans are small in number, but great in mind. Their courage and intelligence define their strength. Lena concluded the communication. We hope this encounter teaches you a simple truth. Strength alone does not determine success. Intelligence, adaptability, and cooperation can achieve far more than raw power. We are humans. You have seen what we are capable of, even in small numbers. The alien princes remained silent for a moment, absorbing the words. The human scouts had shown them a new perspective, a species that could challenge assumptions, outthink powerful forces, and achieve results without destruction. Vaylor finally spoke, his tone low and grudging. We will consider this. But remember, scouts alone cannot threaten an empire. You may have shown skill, but you have not yet faced our full might. Kalen placed a hand on his brother's shoulder. True, brother. But perhaps we should not assume the future. Perhaps humans will continue to surprise us. Perhaps they are. A force to be respected. Alina nodded, satisfied with the acknowledgement, even if reluctant. Then we are agreed, she said. Respect for what each side can achieve. We will continue to observe and learn. And if conflict arises, we hope it will be guided by intelligence, not recklessness. As the communication ended, the human scout unit regrouped on their ships. Alina turned to her team. We've done more than survive. We've made an impression. They now see that humans are clever, adaptable, and worth respecting. This is a victory of understanding, not force. Lieutenant Rajiv smiled. They underestimated us at every turn, and yet we proved them wrong, without a single destructive action. Elena nodded. That is what it means to be human. We rely on intelligence, observation, and courage. Never forget that. The galaxy will soon learn the same lesson. Far across the stars, the alien princes prepared to return to their empire, their pride wounded, but their minds expanded. They had seen a small human scout unit achieve what they once thought impossible. They had witnessed intelligence, adaptability, and courage overcoming their assumptions. Vaylor's voice was quiet, thoughtful, and almost hesitant. We only fought a scout unit, and yet, perhaps we have underestimated humans for too long. Kalen nodded. Yes, and that is a lesson we cannot ignore. Humans are different, clever, unyielding, and they will continue to surprise us. The human scouts, now safely beyond immediate danger, looked out at the endless stars. They had not conquered, they had not destroyed, they had achieved something more profound. They had shown that human ingenuity, strategy, and courage could challenge even the most advanced forces in the galaxy, and the alien princes. Returning to their empire carried with them a newfound awareness. Humans were not just scouts, they were thinkers, adapters, and a force that could not be ignored. The stars stretched silently around them, endless and serene, yet the galaxy itself had changed. The perception of humans had shifted. From being considered a minor primitive species, they were now acknowledged as clever, capable, and worthy of both caution and respect. The story of 3 human scouts would spread slowly, but it would spread far. And with each retelling, the legend of human intelligence, courage, and ingenuity would grow, planting the seeds of a future where humans would stand as equals in the galaxy. Not through force, but through mind, heart, and spirit. The human scout unit drifted through the quiet reaches of space, the small ships gliding effortlessly among the stars. Captain Alina Rourke stood on the command deck of her flagship, watching the distant galaxy with thoughtful eyes. Their mission, meant to be a simple reconnaissance operation, had transformed into something far greater. We've accomplished more than observation, Lena said, her voice calm and steady. We've shown them what humans are capable of without weapons, without violence. Intelligence, strategy, and courage are our strengths, and they have learned that lesson. Lieutenant Rajiv, leaning over a holographic map, nodded. The alien fleet is still reorganizing, Captain. They've received our communication and data. Reports indicate confusion and reconsideration among their ranks. The princes are personally involved now. It seems our message has reached the right ears. Lena smiled faintly. Good. Let's ensure it stays that way. We have shown skill, but humans are not reckless. Our next moves must be measured, precise, and clear. Intelligence is our shield and guide. Meanwhile, aboard the flagship Zephyros, Prince Vaylor and his younger brother Kalen watched reports from their fleet. Vaylor's pride was still bruised, but his mind raced with understanding. We only fought a scout unit, he muttered, almost to himself. And yet they have caused confusion in our ranks, captured a patrol ship, and demonstrated strategy beyond what we expected. How can such a small force achieve so much? Kellen's eyes were steady, thoughtful. Because they are humans, brother. They think differently, adapt quickly, and act with creativity. Strength alone does not define them. They have shown us that intelligence and courage can accomplish what brute power cannot. Valar clenched his fists but could not deny the truth. For the first time, he realized that humans were not to be underestimated, not in number, not in spirit, and certainly not in strategy, back in human space. The scout unit continued their journey, their path leading them home. Elena convened a team meeting on the bridge. We have achieved recognition, but our work is not complete, she said. We've earned respect from a powerful alien empire. That respect is fragile. We must continue to act wisely, showing humans ingenuity and courage while avoiding unnecessary conflict. Observation, strategy, and diplomacy are as important as any weapon. Lieutenant Harper, adjusting controls at her station, spoke up. Captain, do you think they will change their attitude toward humans entirely? Or is this just temporary caution? Elena's gaze shifted toward the endless stars. It may take time. But they now know that humans are capable of remarkable intelligence, strategy, and resilience. That understanding will grow. Every encounter, every decision, every mission will reinforce it. We are planting seeds that will shape the future. Far across the galaxy, Vaylor returned to the Council of Alien Leaders. He and Kalen reported on the Scouts' achievements, the strategies humans had used, and the unexpected intelligence displayed by a species they had dismissed for centuries. The Council listened in silence, shocked at the evidence presented. Elite fleets outmaneuvered by 3 small human ships, patrols captured without damage, strategic deception that disrupted the movements of an entire fleet. It was unprecedented. This is remarkable, one council member whispered. We have underestimated humans for too long. They are clever, adaptable, and resourceful. Even in small numbers, they can influence events far beyond their size. Vaylor nodded reluctantly. We only fought a scout unit, and yet they have demonstrated skills and strategy unlike any we have seen. Humans are different, and we must respect that difference, Kalen added. It is not weakness to recognize another's strength. It is wisdom. Humans have proven themselves capable of clever thought, teamwork, and courage. We ignore that at our peril. Back on the human scout unit, the crew celebrated quietly. Not with loud cheers or extravagant displays, but with a quiet sense of accomplishment and unity. They had proven that humans could excel, not through sheer force, through intelligence, courage, and strategic thinking. Captain Alina addressed her team. This is a victory of the mind, not of firepower. We have shown what humans are capable of, and we have earned respect across the stars. But our journey is only beginning. The galaxy is vast, and our actions will continue to shape its future. Lieutenant Rajiv smiled. We've made an impression that will last. The alien princes will remember this encounter for a long time. Yes. I sense I sense and we will continue to act in ways that demonstrate our values, adaptability, courage, and integrity. That is what being human means. The alien fleet, meanwhile, moved back toward its own territory, still puzzled by the encounter. Valor and Kalen reflected on the humans' methods, realizing that sheer power was not enough. Strategy, observation, and ingenuity were equally potent. Valor spoke quietly, almost to himself. We only fought a scout unit, and yet they have shown us the value of thinking differently, of adapting, and of acting with purpose. Humans are remarkable. Kalan placed a hand on his brother's shoulder. Yes, and this is only the beginning. If we continue to observe and learn, we may discover even more about them. Humans are clever, resourceful, and determined. We must respect that, always. Far away, the human scout unit approached their home system. The familiar glow of their planet greeted them like a beacon of accomplishment. They had returned not only with intelligence about an alien empire, but also with the knowledge that humans could influence the galaxy through mind, heart. Encouraged, Captain Alina addressed her team one final time before docking. We've returned safely, and we've shown the galaxy who humans truly are. This mission was not about conquest or power. It was about intelligence, strategy, and respect. Never forget that our strength comes from thinking, adapting, and acting wisely. That is our legacy, and that is our future. The crew nodded, feeling the weight of what they had achieved. They had challenged assumptions, earned respect, and planted the seeds for a future where humanity would not be underestimated. Meanwhile, the alien princes continued to reflect on the encounter. Valor, once proud and dismissive, had learned humility and respect. Kalen, thoughtful and observant, had seen the potential in humans that others had overlooked. The galaxy, vast and full of mysteries, had witnessed the power of intelligence over force, of strategy over sheer numbers, and of courage over arrogance. And the story of 3 human scouts, the ones who outmaneuvered elite alien forces, captured a ship without harm, and earned the respect of an entire empire, ripple through space for generations. The human scouts were celebrated quietly, their achievements known among their people, but spoken of with humility. They had done what humans did best: think, adapt, and overcome challenges with intelligence and courage, leaving a lasting mark on the galaxy. And somewhere, far across the stars, alien princes would remember the lesson they had learned. Never underestimate a human, even a scout. Humans were clever, adaptable, and determined, a species that could shape the future not with firepower alone, but with intelligence, courage, and unyielding spirit. The stars stretched endlessly around them, silent witnesses to humanity's quiet triumph. And in that infinite galaxy, the human story had begun to spread, a story of skill, courage, and ingenuity that would inspire future generations, both human and alien, to respect the power of thought, strategy, and heart. For the first time, the galaxy understood that humanity was not merely another species. Humans were thinkers, adapters, and innovators. Humans were a force to be reckoned with, not because of numbers or weapons, but because of the mind, the courage, and the spirit that guided them. And the legend of the 3 human scouts, small in number, vast in intelligence, would echo across the stars for generations to come.